So, Sunday again, coffee. So, this week I've been mostly focusing on this. Oh, by the way, we're now on the in the front of the house, as you can see in the background. I have this shade tent now, but I'm underneath to do some woodworking, because the days are insanely hot now. I say I can work up to between 12 and 2 depending on the day, but after that it's too hot. It's just too warm. So I usually break for lunch, and then I come back at 7 is the time to get back out again when the sun has just peeked over the edge on the other side there. It's been insanely hot actually this last week, so it's been not much progress on the outside, but I also been working a bit on the inside on other stuff. But anyway, this is the table I'm gonna start the wood shop from. It's not finished. I still have, like yesterday, I sanded it down kind of roughly, and it's all done with 1 second. It's all done with old materials from the collapsed house. Like, this is the state of the timber, but as you can see when you cut it through, it's just the outer corners that are a bit eaten up, like this as well. It's all is bent and crooked because it's been, it's the collapsed house for a reason. So everything had to be cut down a bit for me to, a lot actually. I ended up with pieces of around 45 centimeters that I could use, that I could get a rectangular piece out of. Rest is just bent up and bowing out and too thick or too thin or whatnot. So yeah, it's more of it's solid at least. It's very solid, and I'm not gonna be moving this anytime soon now. And this is just also, I like to say that it's a bit higher. I think it's about 1 meter high. I haven't measured really, and I tend to do my workbenches just slightly higher because I have a bit of a bad back and a bad hip. So if I had the bench higher, I automatically stand upright instead of hunching over the bench. And after a long day of hunching over the bench, your back is completely dead. So I would lift it up a bit. However, I need to do I'm gonna do on that side, I'm gonna do a bit of a lower section, because sometimes you want to work on top of things. So it's just gonna be a 2-tiered workbench, and it's all chestnut except for 2 legs here that actually are elderberry, which was really interesting to work with. But it looks to be holding on. And as I said, this is just a rough table for me to start. That's Catherine, my rooster. So I just need a table to start doing the work on, basically. However, I'm gonna finish this first, which means yesterday I filled in the cracks. Let's see if I have it. 1 second. I filled in the cracks with I just mixed sawdust and soaked it first, the sawdust, in water, and then I mixed in some wood glue, milking it up just a bit, and it's not to keep structure or anything, it's just to make a filler, a very simple and very cheap filler, a wood filler. And on top of this I'm gonna put betum in the cracks, just to kind of make it a bit more cohesive, because now there's still holes here, but as I said, this sawdust thing is just to create a filler, and now it needs to dry out and seize up with the glue. But since I soaked the sawdust first, it takes a bit for the wood to dry out and for the glue to dry. So I say tomorrow I can probably sand it again. So today I'm just gonna, if I have time, fill in top it up with betum, and then sand it again. It's gonna be the third time I'm sanding it. First time I sanded it with the angle grinder with sandpapers on it, and then a rotisserie sander, and then I filled this one up, and then the last time I'm gonna fill it with bitumen, and then I'm gonna sand it again with the rotisserie sander to just make it somewhat okay. And then the last thing is of course linseed oil. I live by the linseed oil. I don't put anything else on it. It's I think it's the best by far product to use if you're gonna have wood furniture outside, because it's kind of when the linseed oil dries up in the, because what it does, it soaks into the core of the wood, and then when it dries, it just crystallizes, so it replaces empty voids with oil crystals, basically, meaning that the water can't penetrate or just beading off the wood. And that process you need to go through a couple of times before the wood is completely soaked. But just for a work table outside that also are in chestnut mostly, I'm not very worried. It's gonna last for 100 years, this table, for sure. So yeah, I'm finally getting going with some woodworking, which is gonna be much better. And I already feel it. It's more enjoyable to go outside and do stuff. Now it's only the heat that taking away the work hours. And then of course the night comes, and then you only have around 2 hours left in daylight. But maybe I'm gonna rig up the light here. I still have one solar light left in the house, which I could put in here, and then I don't have to worry about the lights actually. But let's see. Yeah, and that's and today let's see how much I'm gonna have time to do, because today we have another gathering in the village, in the Skola. We have lunch, Javali. I think it is. Yeah, it's around lunchtime. So I need to head up there around 10ish, I guess, to help out with the tables and whatnot. I think it's gonna be a lot of people coming this Sunday, so that's what I'm gonna do this Sunday. Have lunch with the village and other people from around, and yeah, that's it. So I'm not sure I'm gonna be working today, but for sure tomorrow I'm gonna start putting the bitumen in the cracks and finish up this tabletop, and then do the lower section so I can really get going, and then I can actually start making an income from this woodworking business. I already have work waiting for me actually, so I just need to finish this, and then I can get going with some small stuff. And in this small communities, it's all about word to mouth, so I just get going, and then I know I have work waiting, so I just need to finish this project. But now I'm starting to run out of wood a bit, because the collapsed house only had as much of rotten wood as it has. But I'm pretty happy at least. It's not straight, it's not 100%, but it's perfect to start working with, and it's sturdy, and it's gonna last forever. That's all I really need for now. And as I said, this might not even be the placement of the workshop, but I'm starting it down here now just because of convenience. It's more easier to start down here than continue up there, because up there is a different bowl of heat. The sun is on that building all day from morning to late night, so it's just so hot up there. So it's almost possible to be there. So therefore I'm doing it down here now, and even if I continue the workshop up there, I'm probably gonna keep this in an extension of some sort. And it's also a good, I might mention that actually. When you do a lot of work in hardwood, like chestnut would be a hardwood, I would recommend to do sanding outside, because this dust here, it's no good for no one. It's so heavy, and it's actually dangerous to inhale a lot of this dust. So I prefer to be outside when I sand in total, if I can. So therefore, this place is probably gonna remain kind of like an open workshop with just pergola style to get the shade off a bit more. But I'm thinking I'm gonna keep the walls open just for that reason, to have a good sanding place. Because sanding is one of the main cornerstones in woodworking, sanding. And when you think you're done, when you think you're done, you all Fodas, I can't speak. When you think you're done, you're only halfway through. So sanding. That's what makes the difference in my opinion, at least. But yeah, I think that's it for today. And now when I have the table as well, I'm gonna start unpacking the planer from Vivor to see to review that, see the quality and so forth. And I'm really excited about it actually, because having a planer just makes that making pieces and fabricating pieces a whole different story. Now it's just cutting them up in rough measurements and let them through the planer a couple of times, and then you have your pieces that you need. Prior to that, I had to sew it with a hand saw. It's a lot of effort to get pieces, and then you kind of pull yourself from the project instead of doing the pieces. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be easier, and it's gonna be more convenient to work. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but the coffee is out, so I need to continue my day. So on that note, have a great Sunday, and I hope to see you next week. Ciao, ciao.